What is going on, hunters? Welcome back to another episode of Helix's Wild Hunts. Today we're going to be completing the final quest in the main storyline that leads us to the HR quests and hunts. What that means is it's going to be opening up a whole set of new type of hunts that we can do, including fighting two monsters on the same map, and even unlocking new monsters that we haven't seen yet in the series. Now, I've actually recorded this episode the other night when I was playing, so I'm only going to be talking over the episode since I didn't get a chance to actually record myself in the middle of the fight. So we're going to take a look at what that final quest is, and then we're going to discuss what is next in store for the series. So let's go hunting. Now for the final quest line, it didn't tell me what monster I would be hunting. In fact, I didn't know this was actually going to be the final quest in the storyline. Here we had to go and activate, I think it was 5 different pillars that had monster symbols on top of it. As you can see, my character, I just finished doing that, and now this bridge from the water came up, and we're going to go and check it out. I kind of wish I knew what was going on in the storyline, but this will have to do. So I assumed go over to the giant shiny crystals, interact with it, and then see what happens next. And what happened next, I did not expect. So there's our friend Rathian, but however, she's a little bit different in this game, and I'll show you in a moment here what I mean by that. If you've played any other previous Monster Hunter games, you'll know that Rathian isn't exactly the most challenging monster that exists in the Monster Hunter series. And that's one thing that I've also noticed, by the way, sorry to interrupt my train of thought, but I noticed that in this game, even though you're in a different zone, you can still actually see the monsters in the linking zone if they're in the distance. So that's kind of neat. I've never seen that before in any of the previous Monster Hunter games. You could hear the monsters' sound effects that they're in a different area, but in this game, you actually see them walking around in that alternate zone, even if you're not able to reach them. Now, what I was saying before was Rathian was never a big challenge in the previous Monster Hunter games. In this game, however, she posed a completely different threat. Just looking at that movement right there, how she flew over to my character and hit me with her poison barbed tail attack, it was almost instant. I had no chance to recover from, first of all, the sound or the monster scream that she did. And then she instantly almost teleported to my character and did her attack while I was still recovering. Another thing too, if you notice there, Rathian has almost freakishly accurate lock-on mechanics in this game. I almost died here. Look at my health. Oh, that was so close. Normally when Rathian or Rathalos are charging at you, they kind of go in a straight line. Sorry, excuse my noob skills here, but I was not prepared at all for this fight. I did not expect it to be the way it was going to be. So as I was saying, whenever Rathian or Rathalos do their attack where they charge towards the player, they don't follow you like this monster is doing. It almost reminds me of, I think, I'm not sure if Gold or Silver, the Gold Rathalos or Silver Rathian do the same kind of homing run that this one does. But it is definitely very different. It's very odd. I wasn't used to it. I kept expecting that just rolling or running out of the way was going to help me avoid getting hit by that attack. I get hit by it a lot during this fight, so I do apologize. This was not an easy fight. Actually, this was more challenging than the previous fight from the other episode where we fought the Australian. If you have any flash bombs, this would have been a perfect time to bring them along for the fight. Look at that homing. It honestly made me nervous when I was fighting against Rathian here. I also have a feeling that this is a different version of Rathian because she has a new moveset here. Watch when she does the flip. She knocks the fire that was on the ground there and almost makes like a fiery uppercut with her tail. I've never been hit by it, but I assume that it would do a lot of damage. Good old tail whip attacks. What I was saying before was, I don't think this is the same typical Rathian that we fight in other series. Her wings and also her eyes look a little bit off, in my opinion. They look almost reddish, and I think that her name in Monster Hunter Online, the one that I'm fighting right now, I think it's called Conflagration Rathian. I'll have to confirm that. I apologize if I get that wrong, but once I get the actual name for her in this game, then I'll include it in the title description. Alright, so now I had my super ability ready to be used here. I forget if this lands. I actually think that it doesn't. I was very disappointed by this, if I seem to recall. Like, again, that homing lock-on flight ability now that Rathian is given, all the lock-on mechanics that they gave Rathian make it such a harder fight. I have no time to breathe or any time to let up. Let's see if this actually hits. I think I managed to actually nick her tail there a little bit. It looked like it actually did hit it. When I first was playing against Rathian in this fight, I thought I completely had missed with that attack. Oh, I hate. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I really hate what was happening there. Here's actually a really cool thing about this map. I've never been on this map before, and it started thundering and raining during this fight. And if you look at Rathian's skin and even my character and all the ground, it started glistening with the rain that was falling on it. And it actually made this really cool effect for the fight when you were... oh, God, I hate seeing that happen so many times to me in this fight. Again, I'm really surprised I did not get carded at all during it. But yeah, the graphics are beautiful in this game. I wish that we could get a next-gen Monster Hunter game in English. Just something similar, at least, to this game, in the sense that the graphical fidelity just adds an extra level of immersion to the game. Sure, the mechanics are probably not as good as other Monster Hunter games. Wow, I'm actually getting, like, anxiety watching. I'm getting anxiety watching this fight. The mechanics aren't as good as some of the more recent Monster Hunter games, and that's just because this one really does function primarily almost like Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. What that means is there's not too many combo mechanics or new weapon abilities, or different things like underwater fighting or the aerial combat that they included in Monster Hunter 4U. If you look at the bottom there, I actually almost ran out of my potions too, so that was a little nerve-wracking. Rathian is one of the monsters that if you're using a cutting weapon, I think maybe pierce arrows might do it too, but you can actually cut off her tail and get an extra card for it. You haven't seen much of that when I'm using the bow and arrow because it really doesn't do that damage. It's more of a blunt. I think the one that I'm using right now is a blunt attack. Here I am, I was trying to see if I had some G potions, and I think these are the Mega Potions in this game. I think they have a little G symbol on the green potion. Normally, I'm so used to just crafting them in other Monster Hunter games. That was lucky, and then that part was not so lucky. I thought I had missed getting hit by it, and then her tail still managed to hit me with that hitbox. Rathian flew away a few times during this fight. I was trying to see if I could land my arc shot there, but completely missed it. It would have been so satisfying just to take her out in midair. That's right. Get rid of that sonic bomb in your quick inventory since you don't really use it. Yeah. Zoning in was a bit of a problem there. I almost got hit by a giant fireball. I don't like how ready it was to start attacking me like that. The animations are really smooth and fluid in this game. I think someone was saying before that they're very reminiscent of Freedom Unite's animations that they had for the monsters, but for the most part, I've realized that it looks really good regardless. I don't think that there's any issues with the monster animations in this game. This fight was so intense. I didn't get a chance to stun Rathian much either, which again makes me assume that I probably don't have the right strength of arrows, or the weapon that I'm using right now is probably not up to par. I guess I can't expect much since this is the final quest line before the HR quests, so hopefully that means I'm going to start getting better weapons soon. Ah, that was so satisfying. Getting that killing blow on Rathian. Look at those glistening scales. That I really love how if it rains in this game, the monsters will have that appearance on them. Even look at the wing there. It has water collecting on it from the rain. That's how much detail is in this game. So that was the final story quest line. I hope you guys enjoyed that fight with Rathian. Hopefully we'll get a chance to fight her soon once I start unlocking some of the HR hunts. Alright, so that wraps up another episode of Helix's Wild Hunts. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys are enjoying the series still. We finally unlocked HR Hunts. I'm really excited to see what kind of new challenges are going to be happening now in this game. Apparently, it is very hard to progress at this point and also craft armor sets. So we'll see how much of a challenge that is. If you have any suggestions or requests, please let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. I guess now that we are starting to do some of these quest lines, let me know what kind of things you want to start seeing in the HR hunts. I wish you all happy hunting, and I'll see you all on the next level.